I'm looking for it.
I know. I'm looking for a
Yeah, it said we live.
miracle. All
Let's
right, just
give
wait for it.
something to talk about. That's what we need to play before we.
All right. There we go. All right. So welcome to another episode, Volume 9, Episode 9 of We Have Something to Talk About. We have a very good show for everyone today. Let me do this real quick. There we go. What is going on? All right. Okay, for some reason I cannot see everybody. There we go. All right. So we have a very good show set up for everyone today. We will be talking about a lot of very interesting topics today. We try not to make every week, a sad moment, but hey, so many things has happened to where we have to talk about it because it's happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring in my panel, and we'll go from there. Go ahead, Kenya. Hello, Kenya is froze. Give me a second.
Okay, can you see me now? Am I moving now?
There we go. All right, so go ahead, Kenya.
Okay, you got me back. Yay! Hi, I'm Kenya. Kenya with the J. King KB, the Black Butterfly. You know who that is? That's me.
Go ahead, Miss T. You gotta unmute.
Hi, how y'all doing this evening? I am Miss T.
All right, Damer.
Hello, everybody. This is D Grow. I'm also known as your educated Negro, but I go by King Grow. Good to see you.
All right, and Aaron.
Hello, I am Erin Nicole.
Aaron, go ahead and get center real quick. You're not center. You're to the
Combine
side.
with him.
There you go. And you up too high. All we see is your neck.
And the other box is popping up for her as well with the number.
It's hitting for some reason. It's on here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, it's hitting.
Okay.
All right. So I thank everyone for tuning in with us tonight. Be aware this is a very interactive show. So as long as you comment with us and talk with us, we will read them out loud like you are a part of the show. In one moment, we have one more person coming in. All right, just waiting for his son. He's gone. All right. This is a very interactive show. I do thank everyone for tuning in with us. As long as you come in and talk with us, we're going to treat you just like you are a part of the show. If you can, please like and share this video with all of your friends and family and have them tune in with us because we do have a lot to talk about today. So let's go ahead and jump in real quick with our segment, that we like to call our current hot minute. And the first thing under that category is the following. And we will have technical issues right when we start going over our topics. Really, that's how we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do today. Y'all, technology. I guess since everybody's virtual, everybody is taking all the bandwidth or whatever. But while we wait on them, I'm gonna go ahead and speak to a couple of people that's in our live chat. We have Dunya Jackson. We have
That's
Mark.
my cousin.
Hello, cousin. Welcome to the show. We
Hey,
have
cousin.
Mark, and for some reason I cannot see everyone else that's tuning in, so I would have to. Oh,
Can't hear. Okay. Uh-oh, we can't hear you. Hello.
hello. How about now?
Hello.
Can y'all hear me now?
There we go.
Boom. I don't know what's going on, y'all. Yesterday was
Them
T-Mobile.
towels, I'm telling y'all upset Trump. Y'all was hashtagging Obama for that man's birthday, and he cut all y'all off. Okay.
Here we go.
Baby, he cut everybody's phones off. Indeed, he did.
All right, so now we're back.
Again.
So now we're back. Okay, boom. Let's go. The first thing on our list is the shooting of Rashad Brooks in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's go ahead and talk about this for a minute, y'all. Have everybody seen the video?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody seen the entire video, not just the 2-minute clips from where they showed the shooting and stuff like that. Have everybody seen the video from the very beginning, before the second cop arrived, all the way down to when the ambulance and the chief and stuff showed up?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I haven't seen that much of it.
Okay, because there's a longer video from the very, very, very beginning up until the first police was driving to the scene, all the way to where the ambulance was at showed up on the scene. So what's y'all take on this? Let's talk about this for a minute.
Where do we
Can't right now.
begin? I'll go first. It's okay.
What?
What?
I think that it was senseless. I think it didn't have to go as far as it went. When they knocked on the window and he was responsive to them, they could have asked him, "Are you okay? What's going on with you? Can you step out the car and let us talk to you?" But instead, they approached it aggressively. They approached it beating on the window. Just really, the way they handled it was way out of line. As far as him running away from them, he was trying to get away from them because he already know what's been going on with the police and black men. So I feel like he was trying to get away. How did he get the taser? The police officer pulled the taser out, and his hand somehow got wrapped around the little wire, and that's how he got that taser. If y'all look at it again, that's how he was able to get that taser. So him running away, somebody after you, he just turned around and let loose. But as far as the officer was away from him, it's no way that taser could have reached him. He was too far away from him for the taser to even reach him. And he shot him, saying that he was in danger. He was not in danger because the guy was too far away from you.
Okay, so don't beat me up for this, but I would say the police did not start aggressive. I'm not gonna say they was aggressive when they approached him. They knocked on the window, the man was asleep. They kept knocking, he didn't wake up. They opened the door, they shoved him a little bit to wake him up, and he finally woke up. That's what I saw in the video. I didn't see that as being aggressive. I saw that as in trying to get him to respond because the man is asleep in a parking lot. I mean, not parking lot. He was asleep in the drive-through. So that right there is already like, okay, what is wrong? Because how do you fall asleep in the ain't no drive-through and no restaurant that slow to where you fall asleep in the drive-through.
Whataburger.
Williams Chicken over in South Dallas. Yeah, I done fell asleep in the drive-through before.
Well,
I just
you
been to the stoplight before.
okay? So, but still, I'm not gonna say they was being aggressive with their approach. They knocked on the window. He was unresponsive. He was still laid out. They opened the door, woke him up, and he woke up, and they started questioning him. The typical thing that they did. So far, they have not been aggressive yet. They not. As far as the only time they got aggressive is when the tussling started. And that's where I saw the aggressiveness came. But of course, the man was fighting back. Who else want to chime in real quick before I get it? Because I really don't want to give my 2 cents because I'm half and half on it. But if I have to, go ahead.
I'm also, I'll say 60-40 on it. He was asleep in the drive-thru. Being a manager of a restaurant, if you are of the neighborhood and you basically know people that come into the restaurant, you're of the neighborhood, maybe not, I don't know. You take a worker with you and you go and you check. Why is the first thing to do is to call the police in this day and time on a Black man? Yes, you said maybe he's sleeping or he's sleeping in because the audio is out today and I tried to listen to it, but I was too upset. So, because it sounded like some other, but it could have been somebody else, but it sounded like another. But anyway, he was asleep. You could have taken the time to go and knock. And then, okay, they didn't do that. They called the police. Okay. Police got him there. Being an officer, this is where your training should come in at. Obviously, the man was lit. He was drunk. He was everything. Okay, get him some water. Sit him down on the ground. Sober him up. If he stated that he has family that lives down the street, let him go. Give him a citation. It did not have to go to the point of them putting their hands on him. That's where my issue comes in. Because he was drunk. He was drunk. We've all been drunk. If you don't drink, then okay, you have it. But in my younger years, yes, I have been drunk. And there have been times where I couldn't get out the car. Okay? That was then. This is now. The man was drunk. Handle it a different way. They got to start learning how to handle stuff because men are fearing for their lives. Yeah. And at this point, he's out of it, but he's still fearing for his life. So yes, it escalated when it shouldn't have escalated. The phone call was the first issue. Okay, I'm done.
All right. Aaron, you got something? Namer?
I say I agree with everyone else. I'm half and half on it. I do believe, like, I think the hitting on the door, the aggressiveness there was to make sure he was alert because he could, in fact, have been having a medical emergency. But as far as the shooting, that was too much. But again, he did fight back. So with his aggression towards them, like, what else could they have done? I mean,
because if you notice in the video,
I'm not saying shoot them, but what was the next option for them to do what they need to do, which was their job? And I also feel like, never mind, I'll skip that part. But I mean, my question is, what was the next step for them to do at that point after a physical altercation has now transpired?
Right, because he did in the video when the police officer went to handcuff him, he started getting extra aggressive. When they all hit the ground, if you watch the video, because I watched the video a couple of times when it first came out and then a couple of times today, he hit one of the officers, in the head, and he shoved the other.
He did.
So it's like
he did.
It's like, that's why I said I'm kind of half and half on the whole situation. The shooting part, it was a bit much with 3 shots. You probably could have shot a warning shot. The man had a taser. There's not that much damage that taser could have done to the police officer. 1 shot would have been okay at the leg to stop him from running. I'll be cool with that. But the 3 shots, and I just found out today he got shot, and he got shot. 2 of those bullets went to the back. That was a bit much.
Why did it have to,
Uh-huh.
why did it have to get to the point of the shots? Why did it have to get to the point of the handcuffs? Why did it have to get to the point of the scuffle? Why did it have to get to that point? That's my issue with it, because
I mean,
he was drunk. Why did it have to get to that point of that?
Well, we can't tell the cops how to do right when that is one of the right things to do. Like I said, one of the right things to do. Like you said earlier, they could have called somebody. That's an option. Handcuffing him, just saying, hey, because they didn't say they were taking him to jail. They just saying, we can't allow you to drive. Just come down with us, blah, 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 all that stuff. So they had 2 options. They just chose the option of, let me just take you in. The man should have, at the same time, he should have never got aggressive with either of the
right. At the end of the day, we can't say what he shouldn't have been, because at the end of the day, he was an intoxicated man. So, they don't think with the normal process. And with that being said, he was also someone driving under the influence. Your car didn't roll up to the drive-through.
Right.
So there alone was a law that had been broken. Were they just trying to put him in cuffs to detain him so they could figure out what the next order of steps was? Like, are we going to call a relative, or are we going to take you in for detox? But
Right.
We'll never know, because it transpired to aggressiveness.
Let me read some comments real quick, Damer, and I'm going to let you come in with the final word, okay? Raven Mentor said, I'm mad at the witness people. Why call the cops? Couldn't the night manager ask him, wake up, and pull into the parking lot? Suge said, because people shoot. And then he also said detox. Suge also said, what if they let him go and he killed someone else? Suge said there was no excuse. Hold on, Suge is coming in. Give me 1 second. Okay, I think he's coming in. Go ahead, Damon, what you got?
Here's the issue. If this is normal for every single person of every single race, and this was the normal standard behavior, I would not have an issue. What I can attest, personally is that I see and have seen people, I've seen and have seen people who have been wrongfully seen as aggressive, and who have been also approached on a different scale, and it's already elevated. When you walk in, yes, we already know they're drunk, so that's a whole set of problems. He should have gone either to jail, been taken home, had his car took, something along those lines, not negating that at all, okay? Don't get me wrong. This is not normal standard practice for everybody of every race. And that's where I'm sitting with it. If this was the same across the board, okay. If the standard is it's very harsh, that things can go this way on a regular basis with every single race, it's whatever. But as time and time again has shown us, we are likely over twice as much, if that little, to be escalated things. Now, if you're also drunk and you're waking up somewhere, of course you're disoriented. And with everything going on, you don't know what they're about to do. And I have to go back and watch it again to see what the officers are saying. Depending on what they're saying, if they're not telling you what's happening and they're not telling you what's going on, you're flipping out because you're drunk. You don't know what's going on. You don't know if you breathe. There's no way to really act in a rational sense, especially if you're inebriated to that point to where you're passed out at a drive-through. So it's just, I've seen it live. I've seen it in video. I've seen it in my personal life. So I just things escalate too quickly when it comes to people of color. And people do the same thing, and I'm going to use it every time. White boy, murdered 9 people in the church. A burger, a bulletproof vest.
Yes.
Escorted by nicely. And anytime I go back to it, and that's a normal thing. And we all know for a fact if he was black or Hispanic for that matter, he would have been gunned down. So I don't have hope. And I'm also very jaded and cynical to this, to believe it was just innocent escalation of a normal standard. And that's where I'll leave it.
But I mean, from in the video, and all I can say was in the video, everything was good up until the point that guy was getting handcuffed. And the police officer was telling him why he was getting handcuffed. He got aggressive with the police officers first. Not everything was good up until the handcuff point. So we got Suge on. We got Suge on with us. I asked Suge.
Suge Avery's here. No. I couldn't help it.
So we all going to welcome Suge Avery to come on with us today. Suge is the founder and host of Suge's Pillow Talk. I was blessed to come on his show a couple of times, and now I'm returning the favor to have him come on my show. Before we get to Suge's comment, let me get to these comments on Facebook real quick before they go away. Nikki Rose, we have Nikki Rose in. Hey, Nikki. Nikki said, she said, I haven't seen the video, but just by listening to you guys, this was crazy. I have heard about it as well. For one, officer are trained to shoot to kill. Yes, that part was too much, but they can detain a person for DWI or under the influence. So they couldn't run him down. Officers are getting lazy instead of running after him. They choose the easy way out. Shoot. She also said, I think she was responding to Dameron when she said, I was thinking the same thing. He could have thought he was dreaming or someone after him.
Especially, or he was scared. He could have been scared with everything that's going on. And when they detained him, I just feel like they came in and aggressive. All that bamming on the man window.
But that wasn't them. They knocked on his window.
Think about it though. Like, for instance, like I know you're in the nursing field, and I at one point was trained in first aid and CPR. When you have someone that's passed out, do you lightly tap them, or do you say, "Hey, Annie, are you okay?" Do you get some aggressiveness there to get them alert? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like that. So I'm sure they were under the same. Like, I've even seen a video unrelated where a car was drifting in this road and someone was behind the wheel asleep. They didn't lightly tap on that door. They tapped on that window with the same aggressiveness until they actually had to bust out the window to wake that person up and stop that car. And that person as well was under the influence.
Sure.
So I'm like, we're not going.
I think right now my mind, the way my train of thought is, I just feel like they all wrong, and they may not be wrong, but the way I saw it in my eyes, I saw it. That man was too far away from him when he called himself trying to shoot the taser. He was too far away to even touch him. So therefore, him shooting him, he shouldn't even shot him.
Go ahead, Suge.
Like he shouldn't shot him.
I just feel like it all could have been avoided. The way that they came to the car, I don't see anything wrong with that. Someone may come in, well, why did they call the police, or why didn't someone else come and knock on the window? Well, for one, people crazy these days. You know, they wake up and start shooting, period. You get shot at for blowing your horn. So I'm not knocking on nobody's damn window, first of all. So the best place to get shot at is the police, if that's the case. Now, they wasn't aggressive with him initially. I get it that he was drunk or under the influence or whatever, but he didn't have to start bucking like that. And then, you fighting. I know that we already going through stuff with the police brutality. So we already on edge. Mm-hmm. However, we have to still be smarter than the police officers. We have to be smarter than the average bear. He just saw this stuff go down with George Floyd. So why are you gonna, something in you still is realizing this is what's going on. So I'm not even just to buck the system. We got to be smarter. We got to start asking for their badges, because that's something, just like they ask for our identification, we can ask for theirs. And all that tussling and grabbing, we already know it's an offense for you to grab their weapon, whether it's the gun or a taser. Some people try to argue well, it wasn't a gun, it was just a taser. It was their property. It was property of the government. Anytime you put yourself in that position, they are trained to kill. They are trained, if they feel like their life is in threatened, to kill you. 2 to the back, 2 to the chest, 2 to the side. And then there's another position that I learned in training, because I got trained by an ex-cop, and that's something that they are trained. They already are nervous because they don't know what kind of state you in. They don't know what's going to happen. So at that point, they're both in fear of their life.
Right.
So, I mean, it's unfortunate that this young man did lose his life the way that he did, but it could have been avoided had he not bucked. And we have to take accountability for it. We do. But we're so angry with the police officer because of the Breonna Taylors and because of the Aubrey and because of George Floyd that we just want to fight.
That's it.
I get it. But we have to get past that point and start thinking smarter, because if we continue with this mentality, they're gonna kill us all, period.
Let me get to the comments real quick. Nikki Rose. Oh, Nikki is really talking about us. I mean, talking about this topic today. She said if he was out of there, then yes, you have to kind of be aggressive to get him up. She also said, with so much going on today, officers really have to think before they do anything. Yes, people are crazy. Then she also said, yes, I don't blame for the employees to not go to the car, because he could have easily woke up and went crazy on them. So was it 2 officers? Yes, Nikki, it was 2 officers. At first it was 1 officer. Then a backup came. The backup officer was the one who did different tests on him, but he failed the breathalyzer test. What was the other officer doing? The other officer was running his license, because he said he told Rashad that I'm gonna go run your license while this officer talked to you, blah blah blah. Who else got something to say on this topic before we move on to the next?
Miss Tony, 2 rounds left a mess with the police department and his family.
You said what
her comment was. She said 2 rounds left a mess with the police department and his family. That's what Miss Tony said.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to condemn the cops.
I believe that
I just don't want. I don't want them to cops. It's just crazy.
That what they did as far as firing those officers, that it wasn't for us. It wasn't for the Black community. It was to save their ass. I also feel like they kind of jumped the gun without investigating to see what happened, and to backdoor on what Shug said. Like the taser part, a lot of people are saying, oh, it was just a taser. But you have to remember that a taser is just as dangerous to someone that could be having underlying health issues like heart and anything like that. Okay, the police there are trained to only deliver so much of electricity current, through that taser. But that's wrong hands. Someone who can continuously put their hand on that trigger and deliver electricity to someone is dangerous. And that's what a lot of people have to remember. Oh, it's just a taser, but it's still dangerous.
Come on. Yes, I'm working. You want to say hey to everybody? Say hey. Yeah, that's me.
Hey,
say
Ray.
Hey. Say hey to everybody.
Hey, pretty girl.
All right, now go ahead back in the living room, okay? Let me finish working. I'll be in there with y'all in a little bit, okay? Yeah, go ahead. Hey, give me that.
Uncle Baby.
Okay, I think we've gotten to a good stopping point for this.
I still think that that situation could have been handled differently at the beginning. Okay, yes, if you don't want to go out to the car as a manager, okay, you call the police, but there has to be an amount of training as an officer for that type of case. So it shouldn't have escalated. Yes, he scuffled. Yes, you fight the police and they're going to fight back. You took the taser. I think the officer panicked. I think he panicked.
Well, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. But 2 things. I'm from the old school. So I'm used to somebody. I've never been to jail. I've never been to detox, but I know friends where the police will come out and will take you to detox. They don't necessarily arrest you, but they're taking you somewhere so you can get yourself together and then perhaps go on your own way. Now, if you were in this situation and you were the police officer and you're doing your job, because this man they could have gave him a citation, let him go on, he go out there and kill somebody else.
Right.
But you doing your job and then he start wrestling you and taking your stuff, how would you handle it? At that point, you're gone beyond the point of de-escalating, because now I done slapped you. You just gonna let me slap you?
Well, sure. Nikki Rose said they had his identification. They could have went and got him later. Let him run on. Run, Forrest, run.
He wasn't from there.
They could have came and got him later on.
He wasn't from there. According to what he said in his license, he wasn't from there.
You're doing your job. You are hired to do a job.
Yeah. But the thing is, what you're saying, Suge, their job is basically at a certain point is just kill them. It's just shoot them.
No, their job at a certain point.
At a certain point, just shoot him. He was
their
running
job
away.
is like
was running away. He was running away.
But he turned around and fired the stun gun.
But he
turned
still
around
posed
and
a
fired that stun gun, and it hit that.
He still posed a threat. And yes, that is part of their training.
I still see it both ways. I'm not saying, I said 60-40. I didn't tell you which side was 60 and which side was 40. I said 60-40. I'm still seeing it both ways. That
right, I do, and don't get me wrong, I do, but I just need our people to still take accountability for our actions.
And that's all I'm saying.
Smarter
that's all I'm
than
saying.
What these white folks are poking us and we need to change our own narrative.
Yep.
We need to change our own narrative, because at the end of the day, it still looks like we are angry, black, stupid monkeys to them, caged animals to them. And if we can get to a point where we stop being so puffed up in our spirit, stop using, we fear for our life. Because one thing, when you're smart about it, then we show them to be the ass.
True. And so let me go ahead and read some of these comments real quick, and then we're going to move to the next topic, okay? Sugar, you hanging out with us for a minute?
Yeah, I'm hanging out.
All right.
Wow, don't hang out.
Hey,
I'm staying on.
Okay.
That's what I asked. I said, are you hanging out with us for me? He said, yeah. Calm down, black people.
See, that's our nature.
I see
why,
Tate came in. Welcome, Tate. So Nikki said they had his. Okay, we read that. Okay, the officer got mad. So Nikki said the officer got mad because that taser didn't work. I mean, the tasers never work. They put to get him down, but he was under the influence. So hey, that man was too drunk to do anything. He ain't felt that thing. Tate said cops are supposed to de-escalate the situation. The initial tone was foul. Even while he was cooperating, they find any excuse to arrest us. At what point can a citizen claim self-defense against the cops?
When they take me down and I get their badge number and get my lawyer involved on them.
But if they take you down and then while you're down, they kill you.
No, I'm not even going
to.
They're not even going to have a point where they can take me down, like to the ground. You're saying? I'm saying take me down, but meaning take me on to the police station. Okay. Take me. Give me your badge number.
The problem with that is when they're taking you, you're normally in cuffs. They've taken your personal belongings. You can't really get their badge number. Yes, you can ask it, but unless you have one hell of a memory, you're not going to remember the badge number while you're in the back without the right on, without a cell phone. You won't get access to the police report. You don't get access to the police report until you're out.
And that's fine. I still got a lawyer. I can still go through the process.
Most of us don't have access to lawyers.
Go through the process. That's what we don't want. We don't want to go through the process. Sometimes you have to go through the process. Go ahead. At the end of the day, I'm an intelligent Black man. I'm not a crazy nigger that you think that I am.
Boom.
Okay, because Suge, you got to come back because
We gotta go.
I'm
gotta talk about
very
this.
educated, and I've
Liz.
been in jail, and I can tell you now, it's not as easy as you're making it sound.
No, I know. I said you
And
gotta
I've
go.
gotten out of jail a few times.
One day.
So.
I think
I
we're
said
gonna
you gotta
all
go through
agree
the
to
process,
disagree.
but you gotta be smart about it. Yes.
Yeah.
You get
I mean,
you
I
have a
think-
car wreck. You don't get paid the next day. You get paid months and years later. But you still will be justified.
So last comments, and then we're gonna move
History
on.
has
So
shown
nobody
the
respond,
process-
okay? Nobody respond, because let me tell you something. We can go on this all day, because the next topic we got coming
For
up
real.
is gonna be a good one. Tay said he was dropped off at his car, he fell asleep. That part I don't remember here, unless there's something that came up after. Nikki said if he was under any influence, they had the right to detain you. Tay said that don't work, so I guess he was responding to you, should. And then Tay also said cops intentionally put us in a chaotic situation. I have been in this situation before. All right, next topic. Let's go. So I know when we in our group we had discussed Rashad Booker, the lynching. Well, after doing further research, there was a total of 5 people. And here are their pictures, except for 2 of them. 2 of them didn't have a picture because it was unnamed. So we have TT Gully, Malcolm Harsh, Robert Fuller, and there's 2 unnamed people. Well, on here it said it was unnamed, but the names are, because I went and did some digging, and their names are Dominique Alexander, and so I think I got everybody. TT, Dominique, Malcolm, Robert, and then we got everybody. Yeah. So it was not just Robert's lynching. Robert lynching is what opened up the conversation as to where's all these lynchings coming from all of a sudden. At first, we started with the shooting of our Black men. Now we're going as far as the lynching, and people are calling it suicide.
Yeah, you misspoke. Remember, it's not lynching. You misspoke. So you need to make sure you adjust what you're saying, because you're not saying the right thing reported. So you know.
What you mean?
Yes,
What do you mean?
when you said lynching is what actuality is happening to Black people in America since we got over here. What the media and what the reports are saying is they either want to either say it's a homicide or they're trying to say it's a suicide. They refuse to say the word lynching, because if they say lynching, then they have to actually begin accepting that racism is a part of it. If they say the word lynching, so they're not going to say that. They're afraid to say hate crime, because that means they also have to assume and accept responsibility for the racist intentions of it. So when you keep saying lynching, they can come at you because you're completely lying on the police department when they said it's a homicide or a suicide. So the American justice system worry you.
I mean, I'm just calling it the way it is. It's too many of it for us to say suicide. And according to the news, it's not all of them, but the most recent ones are happening the same way. So that's why I'm choosing the word lynching, because to me, it's a modern day lynching. They could call it suicide, homicide, murder, however they want. But these people are not hanging themselves, especially on a tree in front of a Capitol building. Ain't no way they're doing it
in front of Walmart.
Okay.
Right.
Let me give the peoples, the ones
Aaron,
that
unmute and say
did
something,
research.
girl.
Let me give them just a few notes that I took on this situation. And thank you for pulling up those other ones. And I will be going and researching those too. Okay, the one that we're talking about is Robert Fuller, who was 24. He was hung. Okay, and this was in Ponset, whatever it is, in Palmdale, California, in some kind of square that's in front of a Capitol building somewhere. Okay. Okay, he was hung an hour away. This place is an hour away from Los Angeles. Okay, 50 miles away from the hanging of Malcolm Harsh. 10 days. Well, this was 12 days in separation. But anyway, Malcolm Harsh was hung 50 miles away in Victorville, wherever that is, okay? And he had blood on his shirt, Okay, just giving notes now.
Mhm.
Okay, so then they want to call it a suicide. We're going to talk about that too. Okay, now in these two territories are neo-Nazi inhabited territories. Okay,
Come on,
it's known.
somebody.
Okay, it's known, these two areas. Okay, now an autopsy was done 12 days after they got him. Come on, 12 days.
12
Why are you
days.
doing? And then on top of that, it wasn't a full autopsy.
Hmm.
Could somebody explain autopsy and full autopsy? Did the medical examiner just walk in the room and say, "Oh, it's suicide," and walk back out? I watched CSI, NCIS, Law and Order, SVU, all of them. I watch them all, and I can tell you some things about it. I know it's TV, but I can tell you some things. No, you just don't walk in the room and say, "Hey, it's suicide," and walk back out and go
Right.
have you a sandwich. No.
Right.
Okay. They said also that there were no recordings of anything. There were no cameras. So we're talking about Robert Fuller now. Well, this gentleman, Billy Jensen, who does a little reporting on his side of different things, he went to the area and he went around the area and he searched and searched and found 4 cameras.
Hmm.
One was on an apartment complex
Hmm.
that all were facing the tree.
Oh.
All were facing the tree.
Mm.
Okay. Now, those are my notes right there that I took and I listened to things to the suicide. Well, black men don't do suicide. Like we ain't the popular ones in the suicide field.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
Mm-mm.
And
I know
then
24
to hang ourselves, black men, women, we ain't popular in the suicide and the hanging, the lynching of ourselves. We're not popular in that area. I'm just
Right.
gonna say it like that, okay? We ain't that popular. Then in this area, you know it's a neo-Nazi area. Well, who I was listening to said they went there, and this person, I don't think he's white. He could be white, it could be something else. But anyway, he said he was treated in a certain kind of way. So he know that this area don't give no flying fart about anybody of any other color if you ain't pale and a colonizer.
Mm.
Mm.
Look there.
So I'm still stuck on it wasn't a full autopsy. Somebody explain that to me. Okay, I'm done with my notes. Y'all got questions?
We have some comments real quick. Tay said, in my opinion, lynching would be the last opinion a black person would choose to commit suicide.
Yes.
There
Yes.
you go. There
Yes.
you go.
That's all I'm saying.
Nikki Rose said, they created the name lynching, so don't stop using it now. Tay also said, Ken, you was dropping facts, which you was. And then he also said they didn't even cut the lights on for that. So
they just walked in the room and walked back out.
Yeah.
And went and had a sandwich.
Boom.
Yes.
Aaron, what you got?
No, a Wendy's burger. That's why they burnt it down.
Aaron, what you got?
So I just, you know me, I like to play devil's advocate, but I don't really care what nobody thinks. I just feel like the word lynch, like I just feel like with everything going on in the black community, we already have enough stuff going on. And it just seems like every day things get added to the pot and added to the pot, like you mixing your seasonings and gumbo and just mixing stuff together. I just need, how can we go about confirm that these were actual lynchings and not just some form of homicide, or like I can understand suicide is the last possible thing, but however, hopefully he ain't watching, really don't care. But I was dating a black guy who actually went to a tree and tied, you know, something around his neck trying to commit suicide. So is that a possibility as well? Like, how can we go about getting a private investigation or a private autopsy, especially when someone may not have the funds?
So to piggyback off of what you had said, I'm not gonna say let's forget about the other people. Let's look at the last 2. Matter of fact, the last 3. Malcolm was on May 31st. Dominique was on June 9th. Robert was on June 10th. That's back to back. You mean to tell me that many people is committing suicide in the same way back to back?
During the
those two
protest.
people on the are those two people in the
not
same
that-
picture?
Doing a protest. And they're hanging themselves. Now I get what you're saying, Aaron. That could be, you know, with your friend, you know, when it did that, that could be an option. But we looked at it as in the two in California was not too far from each other and not too far from each other in days or distance. What's the
Which
coincidence?
that is understandable, but we got to get out of our heads that Black people don't do this, is what I'm saying.
We didn't say
I'm
we
not
don't.
saying that.
We
I'm
didn't say
not
we
saying.
don't. We said
I'm
that's
not
the
saying that
last
they don't.
resort. That'll be the
I'm not
last
saying that
resort.
they
I'm
don't.
saying that's the general thing.
But
Yeah.
we are not in that category of doing it often. There are things that
Exactly.
each race is in a category of doing. And it's not just pointing a finger at this person and pointing a finger at that person. No, there's a certain mindset for races. There's a certain mindset. And I know you're saying change the narrative, but we were brought here and we were lynched. We were hung. That the popular tree is what of the song is about, is bodies hanging from this tree. So that's not in Black DNA. Not saying that it can't be, but this is too coincidental and in the territory that it is in. And I know you're playing devil's advocate. I know that.
Circumstantial evidence.
Territory that it's in. And then for them to ask for video surveillance and to be told that there is none when there are 4 working cameras in the area and it was in front of a Capitol building or some sort, some building that
We know
could
the Capitol building got cameras. They got security cameras everywhere on the Capitol building. So you ain't gonna tell me ain't no camera pointing outside.
What was the security
What
in front of the
Exactly.
Capitol building?
it's
Where
a
was the
Capitol building.
outside in front of the tree lab.
Across the street hanging that man, that's where the security was.
Honestly.
That's why I
And
said-
with her, I gotta address some vocabulary words just real quick. Okay, stay with me. God bless you. So, just one thing about lynching. First, it's not we were lynched, are and have been. It never stopped. It just went underground. The only reason why we're seeing it so much now is because of social media and the access for our wonderful narcissistic ways of wanting to document everything, which is a harm and a help. When it comes to this type of situations, very helpful because there's documentation everywhere. So that first, there's no way in hell you can tell me there were no cameras somewhere, somebody walking by at a Capitol building, no camera, there's no way in hell you can tell me that. That is a definite cover-up. Nobody can tell me otherwise, and I will say it for anybody who wants to try and lie and tell me something else. So there's that. When it comes to the word hung versus hanged, hung is not the correct term for this. And I had to learn this from my Black history professors and my homegirl who just got her doctorate from the Ivy League school in like African American studies. Hanged is what we're talking about right now. Hung simply means to suspend something. Hanged has to deal with when it comes to people, especially for racist things. So just make sure whenever we're talking about people, nobody was hung. Hung means you can hang up from like a monkey bars. Hey, what's up? How you doing? We at the playground. Hanged is where what's happening right now. So when we're talking about those type of things, we need to make sure. Hey, girl, I had to learn myself. But with all of this happening, if you look at the dates and you go back to Ahmaud Arbery, which put the final flame that sparked all this protest, none of the time this all starts happening, right around the time Black people start kicking up and getting mad about what's happening. Does anybody, I don't have off the top of my head, what was the day of Ahmaud Arbery's case coming to light for us? When did it come out for us to know?
Wasn't it in
February?
No, it happened in February, but we didn't know about it till when? Was
April.
A couple weeks ago.
April.
So we didn't learn until what, late April?
Mm-hmm.
And the Black people got pissed the hell off right around mid-May. And then somehow at the end of May, we have lynchings coming up. That's not
It's
circumstantial.
strategic. I believe
That,
it.
that is completely 100%. Black people are not having it. And so now they're trying to come back at you with trying to make it where you feel unsafe. And one of the reasons why I don't like people who condemn or tell people to stop rioting and stop looting is because of the fact that, for one, the protesters are very rarely the ones who are the ones rioting and looting. That's like a whole different thing. But because of the situation, they just lump everybody together. So there's that. So when you start lumping people together, it makes people even more pissed, more agitated. It messes up the narrative, and it changes things for how people see all this happening. So the people who are actually protesting and looking at the situation, trying to afford change, when Black people ourselves come out and tell me to stop this, or you lump rioters and looters in with protesters, you're doing exactly what the system has caused us to do, which is to divide us. Because when Black people or any people rise up together, there is power in it. However, when there is one part or somebody causing dissension or causing you to doubt the movement, and everybody is not focused on the task at hand, it causes the movement to be diminished, which is why I take so much offense when celebrities tell me to calm down. Shut the hell up. Like, honestly, don't tell me to calm down, because being a Black man or a Black woman in America is literally to have post-traumatic stress disorder just to be alive. So when we get down to the nitty-gritty of all that, this is flat out lynching. And the government will not say it, not as long as Donald Trump is at the head. They will not say that. He will die before he decides to say that it is lynching. I guarantee you, he in no way in hell will say that. So as we continue with the protests that are still going on, although they've quieted down some, you're probably going to see 2 or 3 more of these happening.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to find a preponderance of somehow there's no proof. So somehow there are 5 bodies hanging, and somehow, or a 2 or 2.5 week period, and there's no evidence somehow? That's no.
I have
Even
a
the
question.
best at trying to commit suicide, there'll be evidence. Yes.
I have a question.
Hold on, Miss T. Go ahead, Aaron. You got something to say? So we're going to do Aaron, we're going to do Miss T, and then we're going to end it with Suge, and then we're going to go to our next topic.
Okay. So my thing is, I definitely agree with you. However, where I disagree with is the looting and the rioting, and I'm going to tell you why for these very couple reasons. One, the first reason is that a lot of the looting, if you're paying attention, are being Black-owned businesses are being affected. That's reason one. So I feel like if you're going to lose something, educate yourself on what building that you're setting on fire or stealing from. 2, with that goal, a lot of people are saying, oh, fuck them, forget them, they'll be able to file it under insurance. Insurance will cover. Newsflash, as someone who deals with insurance, riots are not covered under insurance. You have to have an endorsement or it's not covered. So you may possibly be affecting a Black-owned business that cannot recover from the unexpected of the riot. 3,
I totally respect that.
When you're rioting certain businesses, you are potentially putting people out of business, not necessarily from the business aspect, but the employee aspect. We already know we're still dealing with COVID, so we already dealing with people who have been furloughed, lost hours, whatever. Now these people don't have a job. You're affecting multiple families that someone may not can go get a job. They may not can file unemployment. So it's doing more harm. And I understand that, yes, let's go. Let's power to the people. No justice, no peace. Let's show them who we are. Burn shit down. But you have to think of the repercussions of what you're causing when, 1, riot isn't covered under insurance. 2, you're putting people out of work, and they may already be having a hard time. And also you are affecting, like if you look on Instagram, those businesses, some of those businesses in Dallas was, Black-owned businesses. Those people worked hard. They built from the ground up. Everybody didn't have a silver spoon. Everybody don't have Kylie Jenner. Everybody ain't got Kris Jenner in their life. So those are some things. I think you have to be strategic when you are going to do those things. And some of it, as I said before, and I stand on all team with it, a lot of it was for personal gain. It wasn't for bringing justice or bringing awareness to a cause. And I stand on it. Okay, go ahead, Ms. T.
Snap.
No, I just had a question about the two people that are on the picture together with the lady with the blonde hair and the other lady with the glasses. So you mean to tell me they committed suicide together?
No. So this picture, I couldn't find a picture of TT by herself. TT is a trans woman. That's her with the green and blonde hair. She was the one who was hung as well.
See, that's another. I mean, that could go either way. They could go either way.
That was
it's a hate crime, or you could say it could go either way.
It could go either way. It could go either way. But on next week's show, that's come up as a topic. Shook, what you got?
I just feel like nobody has produced the timeline of these people's last whereabouts.
Exactly.
What was going on in their lives prior to. Normally, they be trying to dig up all the people's dirt. But since it's supposedly a suicide, they ain't said jack nothing in regards to what's going on with these people. I still believe that it is race, that they have, this is a modern day lynching. They have hanged these people. And when I mean the neo-Nazis or whoever, neo-Nazis, white, German, or whoever, they're not black or black descent that has caused this harm to these people.
Exactly.
Hallelujah.
Okay, so we'll go to the comments real quick. Let's go down. All right, Tate said a black guy, a rope, and a neck in a racist neighborhood equals lynching in my book. And Tate and Nikki both there was agreeing with everything that Damer and everybody else has said. All right, on to our next topic. Excuse me. Consideration for reopening schools. To me,
okay, so it's crazy. Go ahead. You said, what's up? What's that?
Oh, I'm saying, are they talking about reopening schools this upcoming school term, or they try to figure out when they're gonna open?
Okay, so
they don't know yet.
I reference it to Texas because we are Texans here. Okay, every state is different, but being that our current locale is Texas here, I'm going to reference this. I went to TEA and I also went to the CDC guidelines. So if we're talking about just the reopening policy and procedures, that means students and teachers have to return following specific CDC guidelines, which honestly are completely impossible with the state of American education. That's first, but that's a whole, okay? Now, when it comes to reopening, there are multiple streams of thought. I'm not somebody who has kids or has dependents for me, so I have a very limited view, and I only have based upon people who I know who have kids to try and address this. I'm single, live my best life, so I'm like, it's whatever, just run my money. But when it comes to reopening, they have several different things going on. Some schools are talking about going on an A-day, B-day schedule, meaning some kids come on an A-day, some kids come on the B-day. They have things where they say, for elementary kids, instead of the kids rotating around classes, the teacher has to stay with the same group of kids all day and follow CDC guidelines. They have these intersessional calendars now, where basically we start around the same time, but we wouldn't get out to the second or third week in June. And so what they did was they tried to add in weeks and extra days to the calendar, where like for Christmas break, you get like 3 or 4 weeks off. Spring break, March would be 3 weeks off. Sometime in October, there'd be 3 weeks off, which means you have to push things further into the week. And there's a lot to consider, considering that most schools do not have space to have 6 feet apart. If you look at the average class size, pre-K kids, I think it's a 1:10 or 1:12 ratio. The elementary kids, it's 1:22 per teacher. For middle school, they do whatever they want and get grades from the state for how many kids you can have. I don't know any school besides private schools and small charter schools to where you can actually keep 6 feet apart, have consistency across the board, and make sure nobody touches, and all these things. So of course, now they're like, can we go back virtually? But then how do we do attendance? Because schools get paid by people coming. So what are some things for those of y'all who have had kids, or if you had kids that were of the school age, what are some things that you might be considering, or do you have any ideas on how we can safely reopen?
My thing is, and me and my brother talked about this earlier too. I feel like at this point, no one should go back to school right now because this thing is not under control. The kids' metabolism, the kids' immune system are not as strong as some middle-aged adults. So they are easy to catch it, just like the older people are easy to catch it. So putting those kids back in school, and then like you had said, how are you going to have these kids 6 feet apart? When you change the classes, I'm not sure if school's still doing period changes. That's everybody in the hallway at one time. How you going to monitor that? Okay, then you have these desks that everybody has to share. How you going to clean those desks? Because little kids are dirty. They spit, they play with gum on stuff, they do this, they do that. So you mean to tell me y'all gonna have janitors for every classroom to clean after each period before the students come and sit down? You're not, because you barely got money to pay your teachers. So how are you gonna pay to hire more janitors?
And not to mention the classrooms are overcrowded already. The teachers have so many kids in the classroom already. So how are they gonna separate it?
Exactly. So why
Girl,
not?
my first period enrollment is 82.
See, that's
my first period. I have 82 enrolled.
That's more people in an online college. But anywho, but I feel like they should stay virtual. Like you were saying, how to take attendance. I mean, the students would have to log in just like we did when we did online schooling for college. They was able to see who all was logged in. So I feel like they should go the virtual route and do like some of the online colleges do. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, it's hard to do right now because we're switching everybody over to this new technology thing, that virtual thing, and got to retrain the young students. You know, this is how we got to go to school now. But hey, we have to get used to this new norm until we can get this COVID under control and feel safe enough to go out and be in groups again, even though some of us are already doing this and we ain't supposed to. But at the same time, hold on. But at the same time, we just have to do what's right and what's going to be safe for everybody and not just some people. So what y'all got, Aaron, Cheryl, Kenya?
I am a preschool teacher. So I am in a different game than you guys are. I have.
Oh my God! God bless you.
I have the germ carriers, and we are now. And I love them. I love them all. But I've had 2 children, and I know that little ones are the germ carriers. I'm sorry. So, in a room full of 11, 12, maybe 13, and a small room, not a large room, what do? Every child is not going to keep a mask on. Every child is not going to social distance.
Nope.
What can you do? You know, it's, I'm not saying it's the middle school, high school, the change of the class and the hallways and all of that kind of stuff. What do you do? We did, when they shut the city down, we did the video teaching. You can't teach a 3-year-old to 5-year-old through video. You can't. They're hands-on. They need the one-on-one. They need somebody there touching and showing. So what do? We don't know. We're still at the I don't know. And we want to open back up when it's time for school, but I'm like, they are the germ carriers.
Right. You got toys in your classroom they play with. What, they expect you to clean the toys every day, all day?
And where does the toy go?
In the mouth.
Boom.
In the mouth. Okay. Where does the mucus go?
On their arm.
Do they do this to sneeze? No. They do in your face to sneeze.
That's it. COVID, coronavirus.
Coronavirus. So what do we do? I don't even know the situation, but with the governor that we have, we're gonna be opening up.
I feel like y'all are gonna open up.
So the question still is though, for people who, if we keep, let's say we go 100% virtual or half virtual, technology issues, schools are trying their best to try and get people to have them. Internet issues, they're trying their best to work on that. But then you also have, how are you going to watch kids at home? For parents who have either more than one kid or have to find a way to work and still have their kids. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, where are we? Like, honestly, I'm like, and the thing that the school districts are worried about in TEA, which stands for the Texas Education Agency, for those who don't know, scores, test scores, and comprehension, all those things, because as they're further and further out of school, longer and longer, distance learning, they really didn't do it. 2, they can't really get as in-depth, especially. 3, that somebody has to be there to hold them accountable. And then 4, they're regressing. They're especially nervous about math, which is the one thing they're seeing is going backwards the fastest in terms of comprehension and mastery. So it's
beautiful.
Anybody else have anything?
Do you think we're going to be off a whole year or maybe until January? Do y'all think we're going to go like half on, half off? What are y'all thinking it's going to be? If you had to say right now, based on what you know.
I think it's going to be a lot of kids drop out of school. I mean, I see it now. I don't see no kids. I didn't see no kids in the house on the computers. Everybody was outside at the basketball court. Their parents on the porch drinking beer, hanging out. Kids just doing what they want to do. I feel like it's going to be a big dropout rate. And I honestly think, I hate to say go back to school, but they're going to have to find a better way to get these kids to learn and be productive. Because
I still say the governor is going to open. I still say he's going to open. He's going to say open school.
And I just thought about something. The younger kids, when school open up and they talking about doing virtual, the parents gonna be going to work. So what are the kids gonna be at?
That's what I'm saying.
So I just thought about
not in school.
What you got, Aaron?
I think it will show a lot about the person that you work for. They're gonna have to be understanding and committed to allow you to work from home to be able to take care of your kids. Like I feel January 2021 is definitely a time, and I feel it could be done. It's just about mandatory. You're gonna have to be on Zoom at this time. Your teacher needs to have a backboard dry erase set up. We're teaching, we're learning. Some kind of way that their work can be turned in right then. I think it can be done. It's just about sitting down, getting to the table, meeting other minds, and getting it done.
Boom. All right, we closed now with
one more consideration one more thing that you'll know. Most of these discussions that they're having about reopening are not involving the teachers. Just so you know. Most of these discussions are not being had involving the teachers in the discussion and the process. So just wanted to put that in y'all's brains.
Yeah, I just gonna have to do what they say do.
Right. What you got, Should? We'll close out with you on that one.
Keep these kids out of school because everybody needs seriously. And in all honesty, because I have a mom that's a senior citizen that works for the school district. She has underlying issues and stuff, and she deals with the mentally challenged kids. And they're pretty much like the pre-Ks, like Ms. Brown deal with. And I fear for her. I don't fear for her, but I mean, I'm concerned about her safety and her health before anything. So, these parents need to buckle down and, think about their children. And the teachers have to do their part and the parents have to do their part. It ain't all following the responsibilities of the teacher anymore.
Exactly. All right. So let's move on to our last two topics. It is now 9:16. We have 15 minutes, y'all, to get through these last two topics. Okay. All right. Okay. Older women versus younger men. Let's go. So who can read that topic? Remember, I can read it. So the topic is, and pull it up. All right. The topic is older women, younger men. He has no kids. Her kids are grown and gone. He wants kids, but she doesn't. Plus her tubes are tied. Is she being selfish not to allow him to have children outside of their relationship? Or should they adopt if possible? Or get her tubes reversed or call it quits? Ooh.
Call it quits, because you should have knew what you was doing when you walked in the door and y'all started the pumping and the bumping.
That's
I
it.
agree.
That
Right.
one.
That's
What was
it.
the
Pick that
communication?
song.
Next topic.
Expectation.
That's it. A conversation should have had at the
Next-
beginning.
next
before it got too
topic.
late. Because if y'all talking about having kids now, y'all had ample time to have a whole bunch of conversation. Because I'm not gonna meet somebody the first week and say, "Hey, I want kids." I mean, not have a conversation to say, "Hey, I want kids."
Yeah.
That's what you learn in the process of getting to know someone.
Yep.
Exactly.
Deuces.
So
And most
Now-
of these, they ask if you're tired so they can know if they can come to you or not.
oh my God.
What you say, Aaron?
We were doing so well. Aaron, wow.
Aaron, say that again.
Aaron, I miss you. I miss you. I'm so glad to have you back.
I didn't hear what Aaron said.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Nope, nope.
I need to know what she said.
Nope, nope. Next case. All right. Here we go.
Text it to me.
I'm not gonna say she being selfish. She just being a woman who's already established and got what she wants.
She telling the truth.
She
She
telling
being
the truth.
honest. He can't handle the truth.
Exactly. If you wanted kids, that should have been a conversation he should have brought up and said, "Hey, you know, in the future, you know, I may want some kids. How do you feel about that?" And now it's out on the table.
Listen, my kids, let me put myself in the situation, which it ain't gonna never happen. But anyway, I'm about to be 50 this year. Ain't nothing happening in my fallopian tubes. Nothing. You blow, poof, poof. Okay. And if I was to get with what that boy is, what the cute dark boy is, shoot, I can't think of his. Ralph Angel. Okay, he young.
From Queen Sugar.
Queen Sugar. Yeah, but whichever one the boy is. If I was to get with him, and that baby said he wants some cheering, baby, you knew I was 50 when you tried to hit this. Okay, you knew that, and ain't nothing coming out of here. Well, I want some. Well, I think you better go get dollar.
Oh.
Cause this one ain't happening. And then
Ain't
that's it.
nothing going on.
But why would a younger man even approach an older woman and expect her to have kids when people say at a certain age women don't think about having kids anymore? I'm not saying
now hold on.
No, I'm just going off what they put out there. They try to say that's what the typical person do. I get saying, you. But there are some Janet Jacksons out here that want to have kids 50 or above. I get it, but don't go in and be like, "Oh, she gonna have my baby." No, she's not gonna have your baby. You just started life, boo. She already experienced life.
Well, that's the thing. That's
one of them American dogs.
That's part of the courting. That's part of the courting and the dating and the engagement process is talking about these things. And if
Don't go in a relationship.
If you're looking for love, like a permanent or long-term, whether you're married or not, and you know that's something you're interested in, that has to come up before it becomes an issue. Like they say, if you don't take care of your health when you're younger, your health will make you take care of your health later on, which is why you have to be cognizant of these things as you're moving. So now because we didn't have that discussion or we ignored the red flags or we're too afraid to talk about it, now you're in this uncomfortable position. Now, I would say not every woman that has a problem having kids. It's more a matter of health, because even if the female is still fertile and so is the man, the older the female body gets, it's harder for her body to maintain that. My friend Brandon, he and I were roommates in college. We were also roommates after college too. And while we were in college, she was 19, 20 years old. His dad, his stepmom, who was late into her 40s, got pregnant. And she had a lot of health complications because her body was older. So her trying to carry that weight and give birth and stay healthy and all that was a problem. And she was always very healthy. It's just being older, her body couldn't recover quite as fast. So it's not just a matter of do I want it or not. It's a matter of is it healthy or safe for me, or am I willing to put my body, the female's body, through that again, knowing that I'm not at this age where there are complications with that. So that's a whole, like, it's not even a matter of wanting it. Because I know there are women out there who would love to have another child, even though it's a lot of work. But is it safe? Like, honestly, your body's not going to snap back. It's hard to snap back when you're younger. Hell.
What you got,
What?
Tammy Roman from she's older, and her husband is younger, and he wanted, and she kept miscarrying because she's older, her body couldn't take it. But however, she had a understanding younger man that was like, hey, we can look into what other options are. And he, he was her then boyfriend, but now they got married. But that's a prime example. She was older and he wanted kids. He wanted to have kids with her.
But see, and like you had said, there was an understanding. They had communication. So he was aware, ahead of time. And it's not like he didn't have a conversation with her. So
yeah.
What you got?
I first think that you shouldn't even go in a relationship thinking you're gonna change anybody.
Amen. Hallelujah.
So you know what you're getting yourself into, and a lot of people get into these relationships thinking that, oh well, I did with it. I'm gonna make them change their mind. They feel like they're gonna put that dick on them real good and it's gonna do something, and they don't do that. So just like you made an orgasm, she can go to the next and get a better orgasm. That still ain't gonna change your mind about having kids. Why would you want
to the drawer? Go to the bedroom drawer and get one.
Right. Why would you even try to put an older woman through that anyway?
Right. Nikki said, no, the only thing smoking is grandkids, and I'm giving that a good 10 years. And then she did agree. She said, yes, it is harder for women as we get older. And then she said, you better ask those questions head on. Right. So basically all the thing we all said collectively is they should have communicated that at the beginning instead of waiting to the end and try to have
exactly.
All right.
Okay.
So flip the script though.
Thank you guys.
I want to hear from a man's perspective.
I know you're welcome, honey.
Hold on, Cortez.
Uh-huh.
So what about from a man's perspective, an older man with a younger woman? He don't want no kids, but she do.
Let me tell you something. She knew that. She knew that. She knew that. She know daggone well that old man get up game is not as strong.
And hold on now.
And his
my papa was 73, and when he died, he had some little bitty babies, 2 and 4. So
and his shooting game is not as strong as
old school. Okay, come on, Daddy.
He might still be a shooter.
See?
It's some old men out there that can still put it down and still get them young girls and have babies, but still.
Right. But the thing is, he may not want children, but she do.
It still needs to be a conversation because he may not want no more kids because now he's older and he's raising his grandkids. So
they children don't come out old like they 40 already.
I know some people like that now, and I'm not there calling no names. All right.
But y'all, as y'all know, I'm over the relationship part. And most of the time when I give y'all something, it's something that I have been through.
I know.
We already know.
I know.
Girl.
Baby, when I tell y'all,
I know.
That young man. But I had to not having no more kids, huh?
We already know.
Yeah.
I mean, you ain't telling us nothing. Because it's too detailed to be a topic that you found.
I'm about to say she had follow-up questions.
Okay. All right. We're down to our last topic of the night. And Aaron messed herself had to bring this in. I'm ready for it. Beyonce. So Aaron, go to give us a rundown.
I don't think you're ready for this jelly. Okay.
Aaron. Oh.
And talk. Like Beyonce. So the rumor is that she is slated to star as Storm in Black Panther 2. But is it that she has this 3-picture deal actually as an actress, or is it on the soundtrack side? What do you guys think?
So me personally, it's $100 million deal, which is a lot of money. Okay.
Glory to God.
To work on 3 projects. You're right.
Wonderful.
Now, I would not want Beyonce to play anybody character on any of these 3 films. Now, helping with writing music, I'm all for her. Well, no, I'm not gonna say writing music because she almost don't do that. For her singing somebody lyrics on one of those soundtracks, I am okay with that.
Right.
I'm okay with her helping with the music side because she do has a good ear for music. I'm okay with her helping picking out some of the songs and artists with that. But with $100 million deal for 3 different projects, that's a lot of money for just music. Because who to say she's gonna do a whole soundtrack for all 3 of these projects? When I want to hear 3 albums, 3 soundtracks from Beyonce on 3 different movies, no, I don't. Which is why when she did Lion King, she had those 2 songs on Lion King, and she went and did her own album for the Lion King, where she did her songs. Boom. Will she come on? They're using Beyonce because of the following she have. I get it. Cool. But she don't have to be in the actual film.
Let her make her coin.
She can make her coin.
She can make her.
Don't do that.
Okay, here come the actress back to speak because I feel a certain kind of way about Miss Beyonce, and Beehive don't come for me because you come for me, you go get.
I'm gonna spray it. I'm gonna get some gasoline. Go ahead.
Okay, so I like Beyonce. I think she's beautiful. She can sing. She can dance. She can do it all. Okay, Janet Jackson is my heart though. But anyway, I diverse. Whatever, digress, or whatever it is. Anyway. So from the actor's standpoint of her playing Storm, Halle Berry's still alive.
And she's pretty angry at.
And she didn't do good in Storm either. She got her ass whooped every time.
Okay.
Shut up, because she was a good Storm.
We Beyonce, I love you, girl, but boo, you can't act your way out of a paper bag. I don't care what happened on that elevator. I don't care.
Thank you.
I don't care what happened on the elevator, and she walked out like ain't nothing happened. When she opened her mouth and give a line, it's like, who in the hell put her on the camera?
Thank you. She put a
plenty of black actresses out there, plenty of good black actresses out there that can play Storm.
Lupita, please get Lupita.
Storm ain't gotta say nothing.
She couldn't even play a cartoon character, honey.
It's
you leave her alone for that. Stop it.
I didn't know Lion King had Beyonce in it. I thought the character was Nala.
No, it's Nala. But it sounded like Beyonce.
It was Beyonce. That was Beyonce and Simple.
The certificates from the acting classes and all the teachers, the signatures. I'm gonna need to find out what school she went to and all of that, so I can know that she's had training and she's taking this job away from actors that been out there hitting this pavement and trying to get a job. But because you are Beyonce,
yeah, it's hard. We all know it's the money and the politics in it.
Oh yeah. That's why I said they do
Okay.
it because of her following. That's all that
Now
is.
here's the deal, y'all. She's not part of the acting part, y'all. It's strictly the music. It's
Thank
really
you.
not. It's music.
I'm so
It's really.
thankful.
It's just
Y'all
the
quit
music.
hating on that lady like
Y'all done
that.
took her
No,
down.
here's the
Y'all done
thing.
took her down.
I can hate on Beyonce because I have a unique perspective. For one, I have 2 degrees in music and 1 in professionally in voice. 2, I went from a Beyonce stan to a fan to a respect level of her artistry. I was a fan. If you have friends from college, I could do every riff, run, song, video, everything. Okay. As time has gotten forward, her music is ain't for me. And it's not a hate on her. It's just the direction she's in now, not for me. But I respect that the fact that where she's in her career, she can do whatever the hell she wants now. She's done everything. Like she could retire at any point in time and be well off. So when it comes to this, yes, you already said it's completely political. If you notice, she didn't say anything. Y'all know Beyonce moves in stealth. Beyonce is a master at moving in stealth. All they had to do, even if it was completely fake, was just throw it out there, just to see how the people would respond. Whether or not people love her acting or hate it, with a large portion hating it, they're going to still come to see her just to see how much they're going to hate it. So if you're looking from a strictly money standpoint, anytime you put Beyonce on anything, whether it's good or bad, it's going to be sensationalized and it's going to sell. Whether or not we like it, it's just that. And she ain't got to do shit. She revolutionized the art of a sneak attack album. And other people tried to do that album thing where they drop it out without no publicity and they sold 25 copies. So let's just be real. So don't hate on her because I do never think, I don't ever want to see her in a nice lead role again outside of like a small movie. I thought she did fine. I thought she's perfect for Dreamgirls for that role. It was musical. She had to play somebody who was younger to older. I did think she did a great job in what's the movie? It was a remake, basically, it was like Fatal Attraction. Her and Idris Elba. I forgot what it's called.
Obsessed? Boy, bye.
Yeah, she did fine. It wasn't. Halle Berry could have done a good. Who honestly could have done a good job with that script?
Okay, let's be honest.
And I
Halle
think
Berry,
okay.
let's be honest. Let's really judge Halle Berry since y'all keep throwing her acting out there. She's mediocre to me. She's beautiful, but her acting is mediocre.
I said it before.
She makes horrible movie choices.
I'd rather mediocre than lackluster because that's
All
what
the
Beyonce
days.
did.
All the days.
There you go.
Halle Berry.
There you go.
Halle Berry is
days,
brilliant. Halle Berry makes horrible choices. If you look at the movies that like Losing Isaiah, like all her like the movies where she's playing somebody serious.
You don't believe she's not believable either.
She's
not
great
believable.
Losing Isaiah.
The only one she was believable in was Dorothy
Unless some
Dandridge.
kids getting stole.
She was completely believable in Losing Isaiah. What are you talking about?
Hold on, you said who, Aaron?
Huh?
Who said Alicia Keys could do who?
She can't do nothing but steal somebody's man.
Unless some kids getting stole.
Oh, you said at least some kids getting stolen. Girl, I thought you had to say Alicia Keys. I'm like, don't bring Alicia Keys.
Yes, but I do want to say, who want to hear Beyonce?
I do.
Not it. And she gonna be Storm that don't talk.
Wait a minute, y'all. Y'all is missing Eric.
Well, Black Panther.
Right.
Let's go get him. The fuck? What do you mean?
Let me tell you something. Black Panther would do just.
But Marvel fans are way different than the Beehive, though. You got to remember that.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm a Marvel fan.
I'm a Marvel fan.
Fans don't play.
We don't need Beyonce.
We need Naomi Campbell or Iman to play an African because that's what Storm was, an African.
I'll even take Tiana Taylor.
Oh, that's
she's too hard.
No, it's too hard. Hell, I would take Tiana Taylor.
Go look at some of her movies on Netflix.
Like we had said about Halle Berry, she made some horrible movie choices. So, yeah.
I mean, y'all seen Beyonce read them statements her publicist wrote, because you know she ain't wrote it.
Nobody wrote it. She had to read it.
She looks just like that when she reads it. Like, give me some life to you. I don't want to watch a 3-hour Marvel movie and see you look just like that. Like, give me something.
Right.
I don't want it.
It's a character. Like Kenya said, who was your acting coach? I need character. I don't need Beyonce. If you're gonna
let's get Ashley Priscilla on the line to help her.
Thank you.
Well, you know that you're gonna be looking at him like that's Beyonce. It's gonna be hard to see the character because all you gonna see up front is Beyonce.
Well, you can't. I mean, you can see that, but you also look at the other actors, or other singers who have done acting, and you're like, oh, they did a very good job acting. But with Beyonce, you see Fighting Temptations. You saw Beyonce. What are the Cadillac Records? You saw Beyonce with a wig on.
Beyonce. What was that? The one with it had the gold finger.
Austin Powers.
Every role they cast her as a singer.
That was Destiny Child's Beyonce.
That's because they cast her as a singer.
Like, don't quit casting her in these big acting roles and thinking she's gonna give you acting, because she's not.
Well, she needs to have an acting coach.
Thank you. That's all we said. That's all we said.
She need a whole school. She need a whole degree.
It's a whole bunch of them that need it.
It's a whole bunch of them that need it, but Beyonce's on the top. Beyonce need to be on somebody's dean's list.
Beyonce needs to go back to Hooked on Funny.
I'm gonna hang up.
Y'all are tickling me.
Ooh, I'm gonna hang up.
Okay.
You would not get this show shut down. You would not get that show shut down. Yeah. That's why your video froze.
It's just that she's not, but she, like we just said, she's Beyonce in everything that she does. She's not believable. We don't see the character, and she doesn't. She doesn't know.
They should have gave it to Angela Bassett then.
Okay.
Angela Bassett with it.
They could get Angela Bassett or Viola Davis.
Baby.
Viola Davis doing what?
I like the other two. That I like Naomi Campbell or
Iman. Viola Davis doing what?
Storm.
Viola Davis can play Storm Mama.
Yeah, not Storm.
Okay, is this meeting over? Is this over?
Because y'all is messy. All right.
Oh my God.
So we have come to the end of our show. I'm so glad everyone tuned in with us. I'm glad for my panel. I'm glad for our special guest, Shug, for joining in with us. We had a very, very awesome show, a very informative show. Like we always do, we always give our shout outs for all the things that we have coming up. Make sure everyone hit up Erin Nicole for anything dealing with entertainment. She has an entertainment management group. So y'all please hit her up, add her on Facebook. She'll be glad to assist you with anything that you have as far as entertainment and some other things. Chris D will be sharing the stage on July 4th with the lovely Jennifer Holiday. So please make sure y'all follow her.
That's Chris D.
To see this big thing. Who else? Discreet. Discreet is my new stage play, but it's something new that I'm doing. It's a new virtual stage play to where you will actually be able to watch this play from the comfort of your home. And the play is going to be done in the style of live on stage that they used to do on TV when they did Good Times and All in the Family and the Jeffersons. We're going to follow that same format. There is no cuts. There is no pauses. There is no redos. There is no nothing. It's all live. We're not going to pre-record this and show it later. It's going to be live. So you want to get your tickets now. It's only $10. You'll be added to the virtual room to be able to watch the show on June 27th. Miss T, go ahead and give the people your information about your barber, your salon, and your sage, and your pickles, and your edibles, and your clothes, and your curtains, and your home material, and your flowers, and your bundles.
Come on, Books and Business.
Come on, QVC.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. So yes, indeed, I am selling sage. If you want a sage, I have 4-inch, 3 of them for 10 and 1 for 5. I do have adult pickles. If you like them, I ask for a 4-day grace period. I have a barbershop. I'm a barbershop. I have a barbershop. I have a cleaning service as well called Divas with Brooms and Mops. The barbershop is King B Barber and Beauty. I am a lady barber as well as a nurse. You can also be looking for me on Roku as well as Cortez. We're coming up with the reality show Married to the Hustle. We'll be filming that soon. I am part of Vid Chronicles. If you don't mind, go to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's VID Chronicles, and you'll see me in a few of their skits. I am also a radio personality, More Music, More Radio. I am with the Stars of Dallas. Go like that page as well as More Music, More Radio. I think that's about it. Is that about it?
That's everything, honey. What you got, Kenya? What you got coming up, girl?
Well, right now I don't have anything because COVID took it all. COVID-19 and took everything. Can't do nothing. You know, this actress is over here starving.
That's our new storm right here.
Big Chronicles. I already told him.
And what you got?
I'm gonna be in the Big Chronicles. That's what's coming up. Big
Chronicles.
Okay? And Cortez is gonna write something. But
we're not gonna talk about that
black
yet.
woman.
We're not gonna talk about that yet. We're not gonna talk about that yet.
Okay.
Anywho, go ahead, Damon. What you got? Cause she try to check me. She better go check my Facebook post.
Ooh.
Oh, I thought you were gonna catch an air.
That was a read.
What you got, Damon? We cannot hear you, honey. And you ain't muted, so I don't know why we can't hear you.
Look at Kenya.
Hear who?
Damer, he talking, but we can't hear him. Mute and unmute. Try mute and unmute.
Say something.
Say something.
Say something.
Oh, we still can't hear you. How about, hold on, turn off your video and turn it back on. Like, turn off, like, come out and then come back in. And then we'll go ahead and get Suge on here. Suge, go ahead and drop us what you got going on.
All right, yeah, this is Suge. Of course, I got my radio show that comes on every Thursday night from 7 to 9 on Fishbowl Radio Network. I would love to have all y'all come in and just sit in. We just do a panel live at the show. It's in Arlington.
Partitions. You got partitions up.
We can social distance you. We got enough space in between us. We can
he said you social distance you.
All right. You know what I was trying to cast you as our new storm over Beyonce. See? I'm working with Cortez and some things that's coming up in the future. Like I said, I come on every Thursday from 7 to 9. We talk everything adult and everything in between. Just pillow talk. Yes. I would love to have y'all on the show, but thank y'all for having me tonight as y'all special guest. I have enjoyed myself. The conversation has been real, fun, and uplifting.
Thank you. We thank you. And Damon, we're gonna come back to you real quick. But I will say, make sure y'all tune in to see, and this is my story. It is now on YouTube, the first season. Both Suge and Damer is in that series. It's a very good series. The first season is out. We're about to get ready to start working on the second season. So you want to go watch the first season. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. All right, Damer, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry, a little loud. I'm excited. I'm going back. I do it every summer. Media Kids, Center for the Performing Arts in DeSoto. We will be doing our camp with a half-size camp, and we'll actually be doing our play, which is funny, you're doing a virtual one, because we'll be doing a virtual production at the very end, which encompasses dancing, singing, and acting. I'm over the music portion. and I'll most likely be working sound for that as well. So I'm excited. It's, I think, our 12th year in existence, and we're trying to do big things.
Congratulations.
All right, then for the 12 years.
Congratulations.
Ooh, that's a decade, ain't it?
You know what? We are some smart, got something going on individuals. And guess what? Suge on us on his show. He don't know we nasty. Ooh, we nasty. I'll see.
Ooh, we real nasty.
Y'all are nasty. I'm saved and sanctified and filled with the Holy Ghost.
Balance.
Cortez, you better tell her about my show.
Listen, y'all gonna have so much fun on Suge's show. Let me tell you something. If y'all think this show talks about everything, Suge talks about everything plus more and don't care.
Give me plus 4, please.
And it's for the grown folks. So y'all be sure to connect with him and book you a spot to go on the show because listen, you're gonna enjoy yourself. My final word for tonight is going to be strong, be fearless, be beautiful, and believe that anything is possible when you have the right people there to support you. What you got, Kenya?
I got, dear Black people, I am Black, I am beautiful, I am intelligent, I am enough. Society doesn't define me. The media does not tell me who I am. I come from overcomers, the true definition of strength and perseverance. Therefore, I will accept nothing less than that for myself. Say that to yourself. All right, Black people.
You got Miss T.
When you feel as if your best is not good enough, you always know that there's room for improvement. And I want y'all to also know, if you can't be safe, be sanitary. Black people, if you can't be safe, be sanitary. Okay, don't be nasty. You can be crazy and get in trouble, but be sanitary. Be clean about it. No fingerprints.
What you got, Damon?
Scrubs. Y'all just remember, whenever everything is happening, remember that your empathy is about connecting to the emotions that underpin somebody's experience in life. So in order to maintain your empathy, please maintain your integrity at the same time by choosing to be courageous over your comfort. It's choosing what's right over what's fun, fast, or easy, and it's practicing your values, not just professing them.
All right, Erin Nicole Brooks.
Okay, so real quick plug before I get my final statements, because I don't know if Cortez forgot to mention it or if it was coming later, but just in the event that it's not, I'm going to go ahead and add it. August 8th, DeMarcus Bailey is doing his Love and Drugs movie premiere, and Cortez has a role. I am so excited to go and support my friend and see him in his first on-film role. I am sure he has done amazing. For tickets, I think tickets are $12. They are limited and going fast. So if you follow DeMarcus, find the link with him or go to Eventbrite, look up Love and Drugs 2 movie premiere. I'm sure you will see it. Quick plug for my friend Cortez.
Thank you.
Now, however, first of all, I want to give glory and honor to God because without him, we are nothing. And I want to let you all know that you could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with us. You are watching us and you are engaging, and we are so thankful and we appreciate you for it. And when God be for you, who can be against you? And if you stand in your truth, he will back you. And that's all I have to say.
That was a word.
That was beautiful.
That was a word.
That was. I needed that.
All right, everyone. I'm so glad that everyone tuned in with us tonight and had a very fun time. I will say this. Tune in with us next week. Next week is our grand finale show of our first season of We Have Something to Talk About. I hate to say it, but we are not going anywhere. We're just taking a break. We Have Something to Talk About is growing and growing and growing. And next week, we have a bomb show set up for you all for next week. The topics are so real that I don't think an hour and a half is going to be enough for us. So be ready to sit in with us for 2 hours and we have some things for you planned. We have a lot of things for you planned. Suge, if you want to come back with us next week, you are more than welcome to. I will go ahead and
Yes. I wanted to say one last thing too. DeMarcus Bailey is scheduled to come on my show in regards to this film that you're part of. So hopefully any of you that are on that in that movie will be coming with him as well. And I want to piggyback off Miss Kenya Brown by saying to my Black people, you is smart, you is kind, and you is important.
And with that being said, we wrap up tonight's show. I'll see everyone next week. Be sure to tune in to volume 10. We don't say episode, we say volume around here. Be sure to tune in to volume 10 of We Have Something to Talk About.
We are loud.
This is going to be here. We're going to have Suge with us next week. Boom. And hey, I may have some surprise celebrity guests on next week. You may never know.
Let's give them something to talk about.
Everyone have a good night. And I will see everyone next week.